Buckingham Palace just issued a formal decree that has the world looking at a baby bump, but they should be looking at the shadows behind it. In a move that feels like a warm family update, King Charles has actually deployed a high-stakes tactical shield to protect the crown's future. But while the public celebrates a third royal pregnancy, a much darker reality is being swept under the palace rug. This wasn't just a happy announcement, it was the final, silent strike in a war for the monarchy's survival. And what the palace is hiding in plain sight might just change the line of succession forever. You need to watch this until the very end, because we're uncovering the hidden message in the palace's wording that everyone else missed, and it reveals exactly who is being protected and who is being cast out. If you love staying ahead of the royal curve, go ahead and join the family by hitting that subscribe button and turning on notifications. We're so glad to have you here. Now, is this a celebration of new life or the ultimate distraction from a family's collapse? King Charles didn't just approve a pregnancy announcement, he authorized a masterclass in psychological warfare. To the casual observer, the formal statement regarding Princess Eugenie's third child was a moment of pure family joy. But behind the heavy oak doors of the palace, this was the activation of the slimmed-down trap. Reports suggest that every word of that announcement was engineered to project an image of a unified, doting grandfather, while his other hand was busy tightening the noose around the York family's remaining privileges. It is a brilliant, cold calculation. By publicly embracing Eugenie with such high-profile warmth, Charles effectively buys himself the social license to be ruthless elsewhere. Insiders say the timing here is far from a coincidence. As the king moves to strip away the final vestiges of his brother's royal lifestyle, he needs a shield against accusations of being cold-hearted. What better shield than the delight of a new grandnephew? It's believed that this is the ultimate good cop routine played out on a global stage. The public sees a king celebrating new life, which makes it nearly impossible for critics to turn him into the villain when he simultaneously slashes the budgets and security of those standing in the shadows. But the pressure isn't just staying in London, it's pushing the family toward a breaking point that spans across borders. Rumors indicate that while the king smiles for the cameras, the reality for the Yorks has become a game of survival where the walls are closing in fast. The perks are vanishing, the invites are drying up, and the royal protection that once felt permanent is now being treated like a subscription service that the king is ready to cancel. According to sources, this strategic isolation has left the family with only one real option left on the table. They aren't just looking for a new home, they are looking for an entire life outside the king's reach. And that is exactly why all eyes are suddenly turning toward a quiet coastline in Portugal, where a secret base is already being prepared for what looks like a permanent royal exit. If you want to understand why the York family is suddenly obsessed with a quiet stretch of coastline in Portugal, you have to look past the vacation photos. According to sources, this isn't just about sunshine. It's about a strategic relocation that is quickly becoming the family's primary escape route. Since 2022, Princess Eugenie and her husband, Jack Brooksbank, have been quietly splitting their time between a luxury cottage at Kensington Palace and an exclusive $4.8 million estate in the Costa Terra Golf and Ocean Club. But as of May 2026, insiders say the frequency of their trips to the Algarve has increased dramatically. Rumors indicate that while Jack's business with a major property group provided the initial reason for the move, the recent heat on the family in London has turned this coastal retreat into something far more significant, a permanent sanctuary. Reports suggest that the pressure on the York sisters has reached an all-time high, and Portugal offers the one thing the British monarchy can no longer provide: anonymity. It is claimed that Eugenie has described her life abroad as the dream, primarily because she can walk down the street without the crushing weight of a global scandal following her every step. But it's believed there's a deeper motive at play here. As Andrew faces his internal exile at Sandringham, rumors have surfaced that the York parents may be eyeing Portugal as their own eventual landing spot. It's a quiet, private territory outside the immediate jurisdiction of the king's daily oversight. And with Harry and Meghan allegedly buying their own holiday home in the same luxury complex, a new alternative royal court is beginning to take shape. But don't be fooled by the serene beaches and golf courses. According to sources, this move is a calculated response to the Cold War, currently freezing the Yorks out of London. Insiders say that by establishing a firm base in Portugal, Eugenie is essentially building a life raft for a family whose future in the UK is sinking. It is believed that the palace is watching this move with a mix of relief and intense suspicion. On one hand, it moves the York problem out of the British tabloids. On the other, it creates a dangerous precedent of royals living entirely independent of the Crown's control. But the most shocking part of this relocation isn't the distance from London. It's who Eugenie is keeping the door open for. And that's exactly why her secret alliance with the family's most famous exiles is making the king's inner circle very nervous. While the world watches the king, Princess Eugenie is reportedly playing a high-stakes game of her own, and it involves a secret alliance that has the palace in a panic. According to sources, Eugenie has become the ultimate double agent within the House of Windsor. In May 2026, as the York family faces its deepest crisis yet, reports suggest she is leaning more heavily than ever on the one person who successfully escaped the institution, Prince Harry. It is claimed that the bond between the cousins has transformed from a simple friendship into a strategic partnership. Insiders say that as the king's inner circle tightens its grip on the remaining royals, Eugenie is allegedly maintaining a secret back channel to Montecito, sharing insider intel that could be used to protect her own family's interests. Rumors indicate that this alliance isn't just about emotional support. It's about a potential relocation plan that would change the royal map forever. It is believed that Harry and Meghan have officially opened their doors to Eugenie, offering her a permanent sanctuary in California. Sources claim that Harry is the primary architect of this rescue mission, viewing his cousin as a little sister who needs to be pulled from the wreckage of the York scandal before it's too late. But here is where it gets truly interesting. While she remains a non-working royal, Eugenie still has access to the highest levels of the monarchy. It is claimed that this unique position makes her the most dangerous woman in the palace, someone who still sits at the family table while secretly preparing to jump ship. But don't think for a second that the king is unaware of these shifting loyalties. Reports suggest that the delighted public greeting Charles gave to the baby news was actually a calculated move to keep Eugenie close and prevent her from defecting entirely to Team Sussex. Insiders say the palace is terrified that if Eugenie makes the leap to California, she will take a lifetime of royal secrets with her. Rumors have even surfaced that Prince William views this growing alliance as a major security threat, fearing that the Monte-York coalition could launch a fresh wave of revelations against the crown. But the pressure isn't just coming from the king or the Sussexes, it's bubbling up within the York family itself. Because while Eugenie is planning her next move, a new rebellion is brewing right in the heart of the palace. One that pits the blood princesses against the very institution they were born to serve. If you thought the York family was quietly accepting their fate in the shadows of the monarchy, you haven't been paying attention to the brewing York rebellion. According to sources, Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie are no longer content with being the collateral damage of their parents' scandals. As of May 2026, reports suggest a growing friction behind palace walls, as the sisters reportedly feel increasingly sidelined by the senior royals. It is claimed that Beatrice, in particular, has been moved to tears by the cold shoulder treatment the family has received following their father's recent legal troubles. Insiders say the blood princesses are beginning to push back, questioning why they are being frozen out of traditions like the royal ascot, while they have remained loyal to the crown through every storm. Rumors indicate that this isn't just about hurt feelings, it's about a battle for their very identity. Since they were reportedly cancelled from public engagements for the foreseeable future, it's believed the sisters are in a state of high-strung despair. According to sources, Beatrice and Eugenie declined an offer from the king for specialized reputation management, a move that allegedly deeply frustrated Charles. It is believed they wanted to handle their own path, but that path is becoming increasingly narrow. Insiders say they feel a terrible burden as the public continues to link them to unpalatable revelations about their mother's past financial ties. Yet, even as they are pushed to the edge, rumors suggest they are refusing to go quietly, with Beatrice recently spotted loading her own luggage into taxis, a stark, symbolic departure from the gilded life they once knew. But the real shocker is how this internal rift is changing the way they view the king's slimmed-down vision. Reports suggest that while Charles wants to protect the throne's reputation by distancing himself, the sisters see this as a betrayal of family loyalty. It is claimed that they feel they are being treated as useful idiots who are only called upon when the monarchy needs a friendly face, only to be discarded when the headlines turn sour. Insiders say this has created a panicked atmosphere within the York camp, especially as fears grow over potential tell-all memoirs that could further tarnish their standing. But even as the king tries to draw a line between the generations, he might be underestimating just how much the York sisters have learned about the art of survival. And that brings us to the ultimate question. What happens when the most loyal members of the family realize they have nothing left to lose? What we are witnessing in May 2026 isn't just the birth of a new royal baby. It is the birth of an entirely new era for the York family. According to sources, this latest pregnancy is the final anchor, keeping the Yorks attached to the monarchy before the tide pulls them out to sea forever. While the public is focused on the 16th place in the line of succession, insiders say the real story is the permanent distance being established between the generations. It is claimed that the king's public delight was a necessary polite gesture, but rumors indicate that behind closed doors, the slimmed-down vision for 2027 and beyond leaves no room for non-working royals who carry the weight of past scandals. Reports suggest that the York sisters are now facing a choice that will define the rest of their lives: stay in a London that feels increasingly cold, or fully commit to their alternative court abroad. It is believed that Princess Eugenie's third child will likely spend more time on the shores of Portugal than the lawns of Windsor, marking the first time a branch of the family has effectively self-exiled while still maintaining their titles. Insiders say that as the king prepares for more international diplomacy and structural changes, the Yorks are being viewed as a legacy chapter that is slowly being closed. Rumors have surfaced that even their most loyal staff are being reassigned, a subtle sign that the palace is moving on. But don't expect a dramatic farewell. According to sources, the monarchy prefers a slow fade over a sharp break. It is claimed that we will see fewer balcony appearances and more private family updates until the Yorks become a quiet footnote in the history of King Charles's reign. Yet, as one door closes, another may be opening. With their growing independence and secret alliances, Beatrice and Eugenie might just become the most influential private citizens the family has ever produced. The real question isn't whether they will lose their royal status, but whether they even want to keep it in a world that has already moved on. And as the sun sets on the old York dynasty, the world is left wondering who will be the next to realize that the crown is no longer the only game in town. This story is far from over, and as more details emerge from behind the palace gates, the true cost of this royal shield will finally be revealed. If you want to be the first to know what really happens when the cameras stop flashing and the palace doors close, make sure you don't miss our next deep dive. If you enjoyed this look into the silent strikes of the House of Windsor, do us a huge favor, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support our research and ensure you never miss a chapter of this ongoing royal drama. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.